If I become friends with her, then I'll probably like her. Like her. Like, I'll fall in love with her. These are real things that the enemies tried to get me with. I used to be so afraid of developing friendships with other women because I was in fear that I would end up liking her or like falling in love with her. That was a lie that I really believed for a long time, and it limited the intimacy that God wanted me to have with other women. And as I began to process that with God, one of the things that he really showed me was, if I'm in fear that I'm going to end up liking another girl, then I am discerning from that spirit of fear versus discerning from the spirit of God. I struggled for years with same-sex attraction to other women, and when the feeling would come, I would quickly dodge it and be like, I'm not going to process that. But really, the Lord wants to feel through those things with you so that he can bring truth to those feelings. He's not scared of what you're feeling. He already knows your thoughts before you think it, according to Psalms 139. So when I started to believe the truth that God was not afraid to process those really heavy things with me, what I was afraid of became an opportunity for me to understand God's character and his capacity to walk through my greatest struggles with me. And so instead of being afraid to have relationships with other women, I began to acknowledge their beauty. And what the enemy tried to do was to pervert him giving me a heart for other women. When you're dealing with perversion through lust, it's usually because the enemy knows that you're somebody who has a deep capacity for intimacy, and he's going to use perversion to stop the flow of intimacy from connecting you with other people. So when those feelings started to arise, I believed the truth of who God said I was and the truth of who God said that his daughters were. And so yes, there are so many beautiful daughters of God, and they're so intricate, not just in beauty, but in depth. And as I began to flow from the truth of who God made me and other women to be, he began to shift my perspective and my feelings completely to align with what he intended it for, which was intimacy and connection. And so now, instead of being afraid of attraction for other women and friendships, I'm in expectancy for God to give me deep connections with other daughters of God so I can celebrate them and honor them and lift them up without the burden of comparison or without the burden of lust. I want to encourage you. You are somebody that God wants to use to knit the daughters of God together so that they can be on beautiful display for the kingdom. If you battled this same lie, drop your story in the comments. I hope I'm not the only one.